wait a sec. Actually, okay, I teach people to okay. I teach people actually to use LinkedIn. Use LinkedIn in a way. LinkedIn is very important at all. Nowadays, you don't get job through something like Naukri or something like preparing a resume and all. LinkedIn and GitHub are the two things which will give you a job in today's world. And we are a fully registered company. It is like TWD. I have employees also. It is around right now I have 5 employees. Means that contains the interns also. Around 5 employees I have, but most of them works in some work in the other service side of the project. And you all know Muhammad Abdul. He is also there. He is also working as an intern, as a who is there in the chat. Okay, that he's also one of us. So that is there. And we are doing both, means web development and training, both of them, and training part mainly I do. So that is about the company, and that's why you get a GST number also, because we are a fully registered company. In the certificate, those who have seen it, the certificate contain the GST number also, because it's a uh, totally legit certificate, and it will help a lot of people. Okay, so now I'm telling a lot of thing about the what is the web app development. Okay, web app development. Okay, what is this web app, what is this web app development, and what is this website development? Although we are not going to learn web app development today, but what is this, what is this web app development all about? So this web app development is what? So actually everything has changed to web your okay, so everything changed to web app development during the past decade, means around 2010 everything changed. Why? So because it changed, because everything was earlier HTML CSS. HTML CSS is there. Okay, HTML CSS is there, and it is used to create simple website. It is used to create, and internet is there since 1995. So HTML CSS are there to create a simple website, but it is not how nowadays everything works. JavaScript is very much required. JavaScript is very much required to create something like this. See, I'm using something which is known as a mind map. I'm using something which is not in the mind. This is not a normal thing. This is a very big web app. So it has got a lot of functionality. Even this app, this is known as web app because it has got a lot of functionality, and that is created using JavaScript. And in a specific, that is created using the front end part of it is created using React.js. So back end part might be complicated, might be a lot of things are there, like maybe the database is in MongoDB, the backend language will be in Node.js. All those things might be there, but you need to learn only these four things: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js to get a job. After that, you want to become a full stack developer, you can become a full stack developer. Add Node.js to it, you'll become a full stack developer. And Node.js, trust me, is very easy. So add Node.js to it and you'll become a full stack developer. But first try to do this thing, because these are the things which will give you a job, because there are a lot of backend developers also in the industry already, and there is a lack of front-end developer. Because to make something like this, you have to know a lot of front end, and that is something which is done by React.js, and that is something which I teach. And if you want to become a web developer, just a web developer, I will tell you to see, learn HTML CSS, just because I know a lot of web developers, and only you have to know HTML CSS, and add WordPress to it, because all the small sites are made through that only, made through template and all. And that is something which I don't teach, because a WordPress developer doesn't earn much. Even if you become a freelancer, you have to compete with a lot of people, literally a lot of people you have to compete, and it's not that easy to compete as a freelancer also. So HTML CSS plus WordPress to create some normal site, HTML CSS plus React.js, which is a library of JavaScript, to create web apps like this, web app like this. Even LinkedIn is a web app. LinkedIn has very complicated thing. The moment I have something like to log out, that becomes a web app, because the data has been saved somewhere. I go to my home, I see all this post, so what are they, what are this post? These posts are been fetched from a database. They have been fetched from a database. And when it is fetched from a database, when it is a fetched from a database, it requires some logic out there. So front end people make the front end part of it, back end people make the back end part of it. So this is what it is known as web apps. The days of desktop apps are over, long time back. Nowadays people don't use that much desktop, which they were used to use in 2010. After Facebook came, everything changed. And even the enterprise level users, they only use web apps only. So they have their own intranet and all. They don't, earlier they used to, I have worked in a lot of enterprise software, they used to use a lot of means something like desktop applications before 2010. After 2010 they have also started using everything as web app. In big companies, you go enterprise level company will go, and the internal softwares which have been used, they are also web apps now. Nobody uses desktop app now. So that's why every job now is a web app job, and every job requires HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. HTML, CSS, JavaScript and React.js. So if you know React.js, I will not going to you don't even have to ask me for a job. You will get a job. No, WordPress is not at all important to learn. WordPress, don't even go for WordPress. I don't even teach WordPress. So WordPress are used to make some site like maybe like a local kirana shop. If they come and they will work for us, and they will ask for a site in which there will only a contact us space that will be made through WordPress, and he will pay you maybe 3,000 rupees, not more than that. See, getting money from people is not that much easy. If they will pay you 3,000 rupees. So WordPress developer, I know WordPress developers who are learning JavaScript and React.js from me in my paid bootcamps, because even after 5 years, they earn how much? 35,000 rupees. After 5 years of working as a WordPress developer, they learn only 5,000, 35,000. So React.js, React Native is a different thing. React Native is used to make applications for Android and iOS. But nowadays, nobody uses that much application. See, I am using this LinkedIn site. I'm using this LinkedIn site. I might use the Facebook site. So they are created using React.js. They are not created using React Native. Okay, their Facebook app is made with maybe with React Native, maybe with not even with React Native, maybe with the Kotlin or something. But the thing is that if you know React.js, the React Native code and the React.js code, it means 90, you have to learn React.js before even going to the React Native to create mobile app, because 90% of the code is same. 90% of the code is almost same. So you have to learn it first. Okay, learn it first. And then even before starting, okay, let us start from here. Okay, so as I've told, I will tell the 3 stages to become a web app developer. So after this only we are going to start our HTML journey, because HTML is a lot to learn. Scope with HTML. Yeah, very good. Because everything is like HTML, CSS, JavaScript and React.js. So way too good means in a 1 year you will get a 10 lakh package. In one year of React.js experience, real experience, you'll get a 10 lakh package, because that is the average. That is the average. Okay, that is the average. And everyone who is attending from other platform, please do come to YouTube, because I live stream on LinkedIn and Facebook and other places also. Please do come here, because a lot of my chat doesn't goes there to LinkedIn and all. So, and I will give the attendance sheet also here. Okay, so that is there. So as I was telling, so there are 3 secrets which I'm going to tell before. After that, we are going to start with HTML. So 3 secrets are: first thing is you need to do a lot of networking. So what does I mean by networking? Networking means that you have to have some presence on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook group. So Twitter, but all these things not for your social, but not go to Instagram to follow some actor or something. Not go Don't go to Facebook to follow some actor or something. There are Facebook group especially for web developer, for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, for React.js. A lot of jobs are posted there. Lot of you go become active on those Facebook group, and you'll miss, it is not that much difficult. You'll see what is happening. Really cool things are happening in those Facebook groups. But the main platform in India right now to get a job is LinkedIn. Job, freelancing, anything, it is LinkedIn. And the main platform to connect with people in the US is a Twitter. Okay, so why LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn is like a professional platform. You don't do anything like that. I have so much so much connections on LinkedIn, and I always suggest people to code in public. What does it mean by code in public? Code in public means you code anything. You made some very good projects, and when you make some very good projects, you post it on LinkedIn. Okay, you post it on LinkedIn, and then you get the traction. And if you tag me, because I'm telling you, because you're all attending this workshop, you have taken your time on this Saturday evening, you could have done a lot of other things, and you could have watched a Netflix series in this time, but you're attending here. So I'm telling you, if you are going to do some project, and if you're going to tag me, I'm going to tag you back. And if I tag you, it is a lot means you reaches to a lot of people. a person who was a mechanical engineer, he's not in any of my, I have paid workshops also, he's not in my any of my paid workshop, he just learned this thing, he just got used to this thing. And mechanical engineers struggle a lot, you understand. So Twitter username is, let me open it. I think my Twitter is open here. This is Twitter. Okay. Okay, someone is asking. So this is my Twitter. Okay, so present and all doesn't work here. I will give the Google form in some time. Okay, this is my Twitter. Okay, so yeah, so what I was telling, so that person started taking my advice and started, I if you want, I will give you a playlist also to follow after this. Just ping me on the WhatsApp group which you are there. If you're attending from somewhere else, I will give you the WhatsApp group also, and just started doing those and start tagging me. So what I was telling, a mechanical engineer got a job because of that, and he just means tagged me, just tagged me and all, and he got a job because of that, means I cannot tell his name and all, and means see, this is what he says. I'm glad because he got a job as a stack developer in a local startup, and he got around this. So you will ask me, okay, it is so less job, it's so less salary, it is, he's getting only 12,500 per month, but he's a mechanical engineer and he got a job, he got into the industry. What I'm telling, starting you have to start from this much only, but in 1 year you'll get a 10 lakh package. 1 year of React.js development, you'll get your 10 lakh package. And MERN is nothing difficult. Someone asked for MERN also. Let me tell. Okay, someone asked for, and what is, I add Node.js Express MongoDB to it. Yeah, you add Node.js MongoDB and Express to it, you become a full stack developer. Okay, full stack developer. Full stack developer. Okay, and programming threshold, they ask that along with CCP, Python and Java. Don't go even that route, because that route is very difficult. So you will take years to learn those things. Okay, C++, Python and Java. Someone asked that thing for becoming a full stack developer. Full stack developer, the best route to become a full stack developer is a MERN developer. It is the easiest route also, and that is something which is used in most of the startup world. See, I will tell one thing, Java is the best backend language today also, but there are a lot of Java developers, so you cannot compete with them. Okay, and Java is a bit complicated, not bit complicated, way lot complicated. Java is way lot complicated. So, and React.js and all are very easy, not that much tough. So Java is way lot complicated. So startups want their project to be live quickly. They want their project to be live quickly, and so they don't like Java. They like something known as Node.js, MongoDB. Why? Because a React.js developer is very good in JavaScript, because JavaScript is the library on which it is based, and even Node.js is based on JavaScript only. It is very easy to pick up. I have a lot of YouTube videos on my channel on MERN stack development, so you add that, and MongoDB is also very easy to pick. So if you want to be a full stack developer, it is HTML, CSS, React.js, and Node.js, nothing else, and be a MERN stack developer. Not go for this Flask, Django, and all those things, and you'll fail, because nobody uses in the startup world that much, and Java is way too complicated, and nobody uses in the startup world. That means you will get enterprise project and all, but it will take you 1 year to be good in that. Okay, so that is there, it will take a lot of time. No, Python is not at all good for front-end developer. A lot of people are in this misconception that Python is good. Python is not used in any startup. I will say that Java is used more than that. See, the thing is that Node.js is 100 times Python, 100 times faster than Flask and Django, which are in use in Python for backend development, 100 times faster. And all startups love Node.js. Nobody likes Flask or Python, so nobody develops in that Flask and Python. A lot of hype was created for Python, but Python is not like that. Python is a bit restricted to, I have a I have a lot of friends who have done Python and all. They also tell it is mainly restricted to machine learning and all. Nobody uses that much in backend. Okay. C++ and Java. C++ is something which was used 20 years back. I know in colleges they use C++. I don't know why they teach C++ in colleges. C++ nobody even touches in the real world. Java they touch. C++ what you will do for backend? C++ nobody even touches in the industry. Today nobody touches C++. Java is still there. Java, why it is still there? See, backend still is, it is a king because of multi-threading. It is still the king. So in big enterprise project, And big enterprise project means what? The moment your startup reach Flipkart level, which takes some time to reach, nobody can reach Flipkart level in one day. It takes some place to this, takes some place for that. Okay, nobody does that. Okay, the placement interview happens in C++. Okay, that's okay. The placement interview happens in C++. Here, language. I'm not telling about all the languages. Placement interviews can happen in anything. So because the colleges is C++, they have to teach the placement industry. I'm talking about the industry. Nobody uses in the industry C++. Nobody uses, and I'm here not only talking about the students. I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about the skills, real life skills. I teach skills. I teach skills to people. I don't go for those languages which I never use, which were used 20 years back. Nobody touches C++. Okay, nobody touches C++. The placement, yeah, placement, you can learn C++ because your college professor don't know anything which is new. They don't even know that everything changed to JavaScript 10 years back when Facebook came into picture. Nobody in college know. Okay, nobody in the college know. Okay, so that is there. And after that, I will tell, yeah, skills is always there. And after that, what I was telling, yeah, I was telling that, yeah. So another thing is that there's you have to do a lot of daily actions. You have to do a lot of daily actions. You have to code daily 2 hours. No other thing is there. You have to do daily code 2 hours. No other alternative for that. You have to code daily 2 hours. Then you're anyone. It doesn't matter. You can get the skills and you will be a developer. It doesn't matter. And you have to do some challenges. Do some challenges. You have to do some like this 100 days of code challenge and 100 days of project challenge. Okay, so these things you have to do. 100 days of code challenge and 100 days of project challenge, you can do that, and they are very good challenges. So you do that. This is one of the toughest challenge because you have to code daily. For one, I completed this challenge recently, but for me it is very easy because I daily code. So 100 days of code daily, you have to code and hashtag this thing. And this thing has some very big people in the America watching this thing, US watching this thing. And if you do this 100 days of code challenge, it is surety you will get a job. Means you will get something, you will get out of it. I got an interview in the top of the American website because of that. Top American website, only because I completed 100 days of code challenge. It is one of the toughest challenge on the planet. Because see, people will think, okay, daily coding 2 hour, daily coding and putting something on the internet is very easy. No, it is not. This is India. Something will happen. Somebody marriage will happen, and you will lose that thing. One day you miss, gone. Three miss 100 days you have to code daily. 100 days you have to code daily, and then magic happens. Means if you code this thing 100 days, this magic happens. Okay, so what is okay? So I will tell that means sometime. Okay, so that is there, and all these things are there. And someone asked me one more thing, and we're going to start now. So can you please provide the PDF which is record of full stack in PDF? Okay, PDF. I have written some blog also. I write blogs also. Maybe I will send you some blog sometime. Means what is required for PDF, I will tell. Okay, so okay, that is there. And let's get started now with our HTML journey now. Yeah, distraction is just a minute away. I know that thing. Distraction, the whole world is full of distractions. Okay, it's very difficult. That's why developers are paid so much. Because see, nowadays with the Instagram generation, what happened? No, nobody's have that. Nobody can think beyond 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay, so that is there. So development is not that much easy. You need a lot of, means you need to sit in front of the computer for 12 hours. So those who cannot sit in front of the computer for 12 hours, they cannot become a developer. Development needs a lot of skills. It is not like you can fake it. You cannot fake it. The real development requires a lot of hard work. Okay, so we are going to start now with means HTML, which we are there here. Lot of thing I have told. And okay, let me before starting, let me give the attendance sheet. See, attendance sheet will be given here only, and it doesn't goes to LinkedIn. I don't know why. So if someone is watching from LinkedIn or other platform, because this live is happening in all the other major platform also, please do come to the YouTube. Please do come to the YouTube. Okay, and you can means see this means, I don't know, means yeah. it doesn't goes to LinkedIn. I don't know why. So all the chat which I'm doing, it comes here only. So see, I will going to mark your first. There will be two attendance, and this is the first attendance which I am giving. First attendance we are giving. I am even pinning this. I'm even pinning. By pinning this means it will be pinned always at the top. So you have to mark your first attendance here to get the certificate. And please, those who are watching it on LinkedIn, please do come to YouTube so to fill this attendance form. Okay, so yeah, so I will answer all these questions and you can ask me later on. But then also if someone asks, because we're going to start with HTML now. But this is some advanced question, but let me answer it. What is the difference between React.js and Next? And in fact, Next.js is something which I am going to tell in my channel next week. It's a Next.js certification week. So that you're at the right place at the right time. Okay. So React.js is Next.js is actually a framework of React.js. The code is 99% same, only 1% different is there. So if you learn React.js, you can learn Next.js. See, in Facebook world or in today's world, even 1 nanosecond faster project matters a lot, because Facebook created React.js for that reason only. Facebook have 3 billion people on their channel, on their facebook.com. So at any time a lot of people go in that, a lot of people actually, a lot of people hit Facebook site at the same time, so they were facing a lot of problem because of that. So it is very difficult. So that's why they created React.js, and React.js made this site very fast. So now what happened, the React.js is a client side framework, and Next.js is something which is having the React.js on the server side. So what is the benefit of it? Those 1 nanosecond differences comes because it is on the server side. When something is served from the server, those nanosecond, even below the nanosecond differences happens. In bigger project it doesn't matter. CSS is always good for and Tailwind CSS. If someone is asking CSS or Tailwind CSS, CSS is always better. Means even with Tailwind CSS, you have to learn CSS, because Tailwind CSS is like a low level CSS. It is not like something that you don't have to learn. Okay, so enough means this is all advanced question. Hope everyone, a lot of people here are not that much into that. A lot of people comes from other platform also. So let me start. So we are going to start with HTML now. Okay, so as I've told, we are going to start with HTML now. So let's get started with HTML. So HTML, Tailwind is a CSS framework. It is not even related to React.js. Tailwind is not Tailwind is something like Bootstrap. It is not something React. In React.js always, even React.js projects you can do with Tailwind CSS, normal CSS, and anything. See, normal CSS, a lot of people find it difficult. Okay, because normal CSS is a bit artistic thing. Okay, CSS is not a programming language. So normal CSS people find it difficult. So what happened then? They created all these things like Bootstrap and all, and Tailwind is a type of Bootstrap. It's a CSS framework, not a JavaScript framework. React is a JavaScript framework, JavaScript library, and Tailwind is a CSS library. As simple as that. No, I mean React Native or Tailwind, which to do. So they are totally different thing. React Native or Tailwind. You can add Tailwind to a React.js project also. React Native is totally different thing. React Native is used to create mobile apps. React Native is used to create mobile apps. Totally different. It doesn't even use this Tailwind. A mobile app is always a vertical kind of app. It doesn't even use a CSS. It uses something else. Some CSS it uses, but in a different way it uses. And there is no Tailwind. Tailwind is only in web apps. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so we'll start with this is some advanced question and a lot of people will not understand these things. So let me start with HTML, because a lot of people are here from different backgrounds. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. No much, not I don't teach much theory. So we'll just dive into practical practical here. So HTML earlier, before 2010 and all, we used to create it using like a normal notepad. You go and change it to .html, and you'll go. Yeah, Node.js is also a framework of JavaScript, but it's a backend framework. Okay, so we used to go and just we used to do that, and .html we have to change, and notepad we're going to type in notepad and change it to .html and it will show. But nowadays we don't work like that. Nowadays we work with code editors. Earlier what used to happen, the code editor used to be very heavy, like Visual Studio was there, Eclipse was there. They were very heavy and required a lot of processing power. Your computer should be very powerful to handle all this. Nowadays there are many lightweight code editor which are used to do this kind of coding, and the top of it is known as VS Code, which is totally free code editor from Microsoft, totally free, nothing they will charge. You will go here and VS Code, and you can download it. For me, I'm using a Mac, so it is showing me for Mac. For Windows, it will show you Windows. So you can go and download it and install it, very easy to use. And this is the code editor which we are going to use. There are some other code editors also, like Atom is there and Sublime Text is there, but I don't recommend them. Sublime Text is very basic. It doesn't have, see, it is showing something like these are known as extensions. So it has got very good extensions are what, extensions, yeah, for you it will show Ananta, means the people who have already attended this a lot of times, it will show for them. You can connect with me later on. So for everyone, a lot of people attend this for a long a lot of time, so I give the same attendance form only. Okay, so you can either you can give it through some other email ID or whatever, means you can connect with me, you know me. So yeah, I'm happy people attend it for 2-3 times also, it doesn't matter, but then they have to register with a different ID in this attendance form. Hope everybody has filled the attendance form. Okay. So yeah, so VS Code we are going to use, and this is how you download it and on. And Atom and Sublime are there. So the people who knows, they will say that okay, we'll use Sublime. Sublime is very basic. Sublime doesn't have these cool little extensions. They are known as extensions. These extensions are written by different programmers. So these programmers, they run this, and we're going to use some of them. Okay, so they write these things, and we are going to use that. Okay. And one more thing, every Friday I have a student query session. Okay, every Friday at 6 or 6:30 sometimes I have that. So all of you can come, you can ask any question there. All of you come here and ask any question here, because we need to not start here because we are getting late and all. We have to cover a lot, and we are here to learn HTML. Okay, learn HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So what I'm telling, you have to download it. And Atom is good, but Atom is also from Microsoft right now, so that's why I will not suggest to go to Atom right now and all. Okay, so my VS Code, I think it is already open. Okay, okay, so okay, so VS Code you'll open for the first time, it will open like this. It will open like this. VS Code, you'll open it for the first time, it will open like this. And I will tell the most easiest way to add something to it, add a folder to it. I can tell the command line also, but it will be way too much for most people who are just starting with programming. Okay, so that's why I don't teach the command line in this class. Means you but if you want to be a developer, especially a React developer, you have to learn command line as soon as possible. As soon as possible, you have to learn the command line. So I have opened this. When you open this, it will open like this. Now how to add something here? So I will tell the most easiest way. So the most easiest way is like I am inside a folder. I create a new folder and I will write HTML basics. I'll write HTML basics. Now what I will do, I will drag it here. So I have to means keep holding my mouse, left key. I have to keep holding it and then drag it. See, I know a lot of people will think it is very easy, but a lot of people even struggles with this thing. A lot of people are not from IT background. They have never touched your computer as a developer. A lot of people are there. I teach a lot of people like that. So they will struggle with this for even half an hour, and there is nothing to laugh at this. This is not that much easy to do. I used to think it is very easy. No, it is not. People have done screen shares with me to do this thing only dragging this from here to here. It is not that much easy. Okay, so that's why I tell this way. If I go in command line, that they will not even understand what is command line and all. Okay, so that is the HTML basics. I have dragged it here. So when I drag it here, it will open like this, and now I can work on it. Okay, so now let us start it. Let me take it here. And okay, so now the first thing, HTML means I have to create a index.html. Again, that file name can be anything. But what I'm giving it index.html. .html is very important for HTML. .html is very important. Let me increase the font size also a bit so that you all can see. So this is a HTML file. So this is how I have created. I've clicked here and then given the index.html. This is a new file. When you hover over it, it will show you the new file, and you can create something known as index.html. Okay, index.html is there, and Git and all are very complicated. I'm not going to tell right now. So okay, but if someone is asking, I will tell. Means okay. Okay, command line is similar to Git. Command line, I'm just telling the command line. In all different operating system, the command line will be different. In Windows, they will be, you do a cmd, it will open the command line. Or there is something known as git bash also, which most people use. It will also be like that. In Mac, Mac have an inbuilt terminal because it is a Linux based system. So that is there. And what is the use of Git? Santosh is asking what is the use of Git. Okay, we are doing this, but I have to solve some issues, some queries also. So what is the use of Git? So Git is a thing like means it is a version management thing. But in layman term, what is used? If you have made any code, you can save it in the cloud, which is known as GitHub. So for that you need Git, and Git and GitHub are a bit different. GitHub, you say create a Git file and then add it in the project and save it in your GitHub. So when you save it in your GitHub, a whole world can see it. And GitHub also is your resume. GitHub also is your resume. J session will start a bit later on, and J session will start around, I think, 5. Okay, it will start around 5. And as I've told, JS will not be completely done because JS requires around 5 to 6 hours. I've already done the complete JS JavaScript certification session on my channel on second week of every month is the complete JavaScript time, means the complete JavaScript week. So that is there. Okay, so let me also do it like this so that I can see it. Okay, so I have made both of them side by side, and index.html is there. Okay, so now how to write the HTML here? Okay, so we're using VS Code, and I can minimize it for a reason, because there are a lot of shortcuts in that, and I will tell the shortcut. So I'll do a shift and not. Okay, shift and not. I will do shift and this I'm going to do, and then I will do a tab. Then I'll do a tab, and I will do it. I did a tab, and it created the structure for me. This meta tag is something which we can delete because nowadays we don't use that much. So this is the basic structure of an HTML document. I will tell you about all this basic structure. Means what is this basic structure? This doc type HTML is there. So what is this doc type HTML? Doc type HTML means it is HTML5. Why it is HTML5? See, HTML also is governed by a committee known as W3C committee, which as usual it sits in the US, because US has invented almost everything related to technology in the world. So they also invented HTML, of course. So W3C governs HTML. So HTML has gone through a lot of iterations. Before 2015, it was HTML version 4. But HTML version 5 came, and it has got a doc type HTML like this. HTML version 4 have a doc type HTML like different. So this is because it's a HTML version 5, and this you have to write. Then I have this HTML tag. HTML is nothing but tags. There are different tags. Okay, it starts and ends. It is starting and ending. Starting and ending. All of them have a starting and ending. So this is like HTML is there. So HTML is also starting and ending, and it is telling that lang is English. Lang is en means English, like fr and all those things are there. Okay, so lang is English. Then there is a head part is there. Head part generally contains the title and some CSS file or something like that. So head part is containing this document. Head part, we are soon going to open this document. Then we are going to see that head part will appear here. Here, whatever is written is the head part. This is not our document, of course. So I will write HTML basics like this here. And in the body is where all of our codes, all of this thing is there. It's coming because of body. It is coming because of the body. And then there will be there are different tags. HTML is nothing but learning about those different tags. So I will write h1. H1 is a tag which I'm soon going to tell what is h1. Okay, HTML basics. I will write, save it. HTML basics I will write, and then I will write like p. Okay, so p I will write, and lorem I will write. Lorem I will write, and like, okay, lorem is what? Now lorem is what? Lorem is a shortcut. It's a dummy tag. Okay, P I have written and H1 I have written. P is for paragraph and H1 is for things. So there are different tags which I'm telling. So lorem ipsum is like a dummy text, which is actually 200 years old. 200 years old because when the printing press came, they used to have this dummy text to see if everything is coming right. So lorem ipsum comes from those days, and it is not lorem ipsum. You can get a lot of lorem ipsum generators out there, and I'll save it. I'll save it, and so this is done. And now where to see it? Where to see this file actually? So I'm going to find the and okay, programming threshold. Okay, this you have told it right that Git version control system helps host your file live with GitHub, which can be accessed to everyone. And that's a very good knowledge you have given to everyone. So let us me even for starting, let me tell me GitHub is something like this. So this is the my GitHub profile. You can see this is what I teach, whatever I. So this is like a profile. This is my GitHub profile, and I do a lot of greens are there and all these things. The more you code, the more you greens are there. So and that's how you get that. Means everything which I teach is there in this. So the all the people can see it. So this is how a GitHub profile looks. The more you code, the more benefits you get, and all those things. And GitHub is now also owned by Microsoft. Okay, so that is the and that is GitHub, my GitHub, and you can go through it. Okay, if someone wants, you can get all the codes and all here. And I have a bit of achievements also. Just see this thing means okay. Arctic Vault contributor. I'm Arctic Vault contributor also. You must find it out. Find out what is a Arctic Vault contributor. Who is the Arctic Vault contributor? You get some nice goodies when you code daily. Okay, so find out what is the Arctic Vault contributor. Okay, so that is there. And this index.html. So this index.html was created in HTML basic. This index.html was created, which we just created. So this is something which the programmer will see, but but what the end user will see, we have created it for the end user. So for the end user to see, we have to come here, and this index.html I have to double click, and it will open in the default browser. It will open in the default browser, and it will open in my default browser is like is anyways in Apple it is always Safari. Apple it is Safari, so it will open like this. Okay, in the Safari it will open like this. Okay, so let it be opened here. But there is a problem. Thank you. And those who know, Arctic Vault contributors are the people whose code have been selected to be saved for humanity, and they have some of my code have been put in some small cylindrical kind of tubes. See, computer server doesn't last for more than 100 years, so they have been put in special cylindrical tubes, and they are hidden deep inside the Arctic mountain in the somewhere in the north pole. Not mine, a lot of people, a lot of top developers in the world, they are, and not top of developers, at least 100,000 developers in the world, their code has been saved, and that code will be uh, uh, there for 1,000 years. 1,000 is no server can last for 1,000 years, but that is a special kind of things. They have saved that for humanity, so that some future generation comes and they will know that what this generation have done. So that's a very proud thing for me that Arctic Vault, Microsoft had chosen me for being in the Arctic Vault. So that is good. Okay, you can find more about it. So that is there, and that is about the Arctic Vault. So let's get back. So this HTML basic. So this is the H1, this is the H1, and this is the paragraph. This is the H1 and this is the P. So this they are showing like this, H1 and P. Okay, so we can do it like this. Okay, we can I write daily. I write daily. My code, you can see a lot of greens are there. It is not like I'm telling you, it is like more than 1 lakh people are there. So I write daily. So it is not like that the code for React and all they won't be saved. But everything, I was lucky. Means I write daily, and they choose me. I don't know how they choose me. So that is there. Okay. So yeah. So H1P are there, and if I write another P here, P and lorem, and then I do. So another P I have added. So what will happen this? Okay, I'll happen this. I saved this. but it never showed, it have never shown here, it has never shown here, because you have to refresh it every time to see the update, which is a pain. I will refresh it, then it will come, which is a pain. So that's why we developer don't like this. We don't like how to do these things. Okay, we don't like this, how to do this things. So what we do generally, we developers, we have something known as the extensions in VS Code. There are a lot of extensions in VS Code. So go here, and because of that only VS Code have this, all these extensions and all. And then you have to go here, and there is something known as a live server. So I have not many extension installed, but I have this live server is there. So you just check for this live server. I live live, you do, you come to this, and you just install it. Just install this live server and you'll be done means installing. And how to use it, I will tell. Okay, how to use it, I will tell. And how to use this. So to use it, you have to come here and you have to do a right click and open with live server. Either you'll have to do this, or sometimes this also comes, you can do this also. So I'll do this, open with live server, and it will again open in my default browser, which by default is this one, Chrome. But I don't like, I will not use it here. Okay, so what is with this? So it will open in something like this 127 and all these things, it will open. And this is something which is live server means the moment and I do something, there is something known as hot reloading kind of feature which will happen here. See, if I do it and I have to save it, if I save it, and then see, it just got reflected, here. But if I go here, it is not reflected unless I save it, unless I refresh it. So this is a pain which we don't want to do. So that's why we are going to use the live server from now onwards, and all the developers who are doing a HTML, CSS, JavaScript project, they do this. Okay, so I will come here, I'll paste it here in the, because I generally do it on here only. Firefox Developer Edition is the browser in which I work. So it is okay, it has been shown here. So we are going to use from this from now onwards. So let's go ahead here, and we are going to learn about tags. So HTML is all about learning about different tags. So let's get started with the H1. So I will remove this thing, and H1 I will have, H1 is like heading 1, three, 4, 5, 6. Header tag are actually 6 tags. Total 6 tags are there in the header tag, header 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 6 tags are there. So as you can see, they are of different sizes. Heading 1 is the biggest one of them. Then heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6. All of these are of different sizes. The heading 1 to heading 6 are of different sizes, and they are known as heading tag. But in generally we don't use below heading 4, because heading 5 and heading 6 are very small, even like the paragraph it is there. So these are known as heading tag, and I'm going to tell more about it, like there are also block level elements. So there are two types of element, one is block level element, one is inline element. So this is known as heading tag. The 6 of them are there. Then after that we have something like we'll learn about paragraph tag. Paragraph tag, which you've already seen earlier, paragraph tag we have already seen. And those are new, please do fill the attendance form. Okay, first attendance form, this is the first attendance form. Second attendance form will be given at around 5:30. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so now heading tag we have learned. We are going to learn about paragraph tag, but before going to paragraph tag, I'm going to tell about another tag kind of thing, that is commenting. So what is commenting, and why are commenting used? I will get a heading tag, then I will select all of this, and then command backslash, or in command backslash I'll give, and it will show something like this. I will save it. I'll save it. See, it is not showing here. It is not showing it here, because this is something, these are known as comment, and this is something which the developers use. Developers uses comments a lot, means so that after 2 months you'll come to this code, you'll understand what is a comment, are to help the developer, yourself, or some other developer who are there in this project. So generally what happens in one single project, at least 5 to 10 people works. Okay, because I have led a team of front-end developer. In my, I was leading a team of 10 front-end developers. We all used to work in the same project. So this these comments are very important, so that the next person who will come, will know, okay, this code means this thing. So comments are there in all programming languages. It is there in HTML also, but they are written in a different way. So next thing which we are going to learn is the paragraph tag. Paragraph tag, I'm going to tell. Then this paragraph tag is P, which you have seen. And again, I'm going to do the lorem, which you have seen. It is coming like this. So it will come like this paragraph we have seen earlier. And I can have another paragraph also, and lorem 10. Okay. Now, one thing to notice here is that, see, this H1 and this paragraph tag, both of them are actually coming in different lines. See, there were a lot of place here: heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6, till heading 6 is there. Heading 6 till heading 6 was there. All of this could have fitted in one line, but it all came in a different lines. All of them came in different lines. Since like this paragraph tag is also there, and there was a space here, but it came to different because they're known as block level element. They're known as block level element. There is something known as inline element also. Which I'm going to tell. Okay, span and nav, not much. They both of span is like a inline element. Nav is something like a semantic. This is something known as semantic HTML, which I'm not going to tell much about it right now, because semantic HTML is something. Okay, let me tell a bit about it. What is semantic HTML? If you are telling, so semantic HTML is like it is there because nav is actually a semantic HTML tag. Okay, so because there was a lot of accessibility issues. Accessibility issues is what? So suppose a person who is blind, he's coming to see our website. So there are something known as div, spans, and all those things. Those things doesn't make any sense. In fact, the H1P, those make sense, but div span doesn't make any sense. So HTML team come with something known as accessibility. And if you have this like nav, header, all this tag, actually they also means nothing. Means maybe some of them are block level and all. So those are there. But what happened with that, they make some sense. So a blind person will use a screen reader. There is a screen reader, that thing is there. The screen readers goes through the whole of website and reads all thing about it. So there you give a nav or header, so it will know that, okay, this is a header, this is a nav, and all those things it will know. So that is there. So that is the thing is there. Okay. And now the next thing is that we are going to learn about one inline element which is very popular. So inline element, and it is different than, so these are all block level element. They are taking their own line, so they are block level element. So we are going to learn about the links now. Okay, links. Now we are going to learn link tag. We are going to learn link tag. Link tag. What is this link tag? Link tag is like a, I will give a, and then learn web development, non-web development, and non-web development, and I will paste my site link. Okay, I have a blogging site. That link I will get. The web.tech, non-web development I have given. Okay, this is the anchor tag. This is known as anchor tag, which you all might have seen this anchor tags a lot in the different sites. You click on that and you go to that site. That is known as anchor tag. So it has got a second parameter also. These are known as attributes. So you have to give a href and then the site name you have to give, and then after that you have to do this one, web development, save it. So see, it will come like this. If you're doing it for the first time, it will show it as blue. For me, it is shows it as purple, because I've done it a lot of times. The same website I visited a lot. So if, see, the moment I take over it, it will give me this hand. If I click over it, it will take me to that site. It will take me to my site. Okay, so it is like that. It will take me to my site. Okay, so this is known as the anchor tag. This is how it works. But there is one issue in this thing. When I am clicking, suppose I am building this site, but I am getting away from that site and it is opening in the same tab. So this is a very this is not a good thing to do. Opening it in the same tab. We want it to open it in the different tab. So for that, we can have something known as target equal to blank, and we're going to use that. Okay, so a href So let me take the okay href of okay okay my channel. I'll take my channel, my YouTube channel. I'll take href. So href I'll take here and pwd yt. Okay, and then I will take this as okay. I'll take a target as blank. So there will be second attribute in which there will be target equal to underscore blank. Target equal to underscore blank. Okay, target equal to underscore blank. I'll do. This is required. Why it is required? To open it in a different tab. Okay, save it. Now see, you got another thing. Target is YT. But even before going that, I want to tell one thing. Anchor tag is the inline element. So it didn't open this new anchor tag in a didn't is not showing it in the next line. It is showing in the same line. It is showing in the same line because it's an inline element. There are a lot of HTML which are inline HTML tags, so, and a lot of them are blocked. Most of them are blocked. Some of them are inline. Some of them are inline like this. And target equal to blank. I'll tell about it. So this h1 and p are both of them are block level, but this one anchor tag is an inline element, and we have given target equal to underscore blank. This is a keyword. You have to give it like this only. Okay, now when I click on it, it is opening in a different tab. You're seeing that it is opening here. Okay, and please do subscribe if you're not yet subscribed yet. Okay, so this is like that. This is what live stream classes to make you a highly paid web developer, what I do. Okay, so it is opening in a different tab, but if I click here, see, it is opening in the same tab. It is opening in the same tab. That is a different with target equal to blank. You should always try to give target equal to blank underscore blank so that it can open it in a different, totally a different link. Okay, so like this, it can open in a different. Okay, so that is there. That is all about it. And now let us learn about some other tags. We'll learn about the list tags. Now, list tags. List tag we are going to learn. Okay, list tag we are going to learn, and here I am going to learn about UL. So there are two kind of lists. One is known as UL, unordered list, and another is known as ordered list. Ordered list. Okay. Scroll the code. Scroll the code. Scroll the page. Okay, I have taken it away. Oh, okay. Yeah, it will go in the next line. Sometimes it goes in the next line. Please bear, because when we are teaching means it's maybe I will make it a bigger, but then it will make this not looking good. Okay. So it is like, okay, UL is there. UL is known as unordered list. UL is known as unordered list, and here we are going to have this li, and it is like this item 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have this thing. Okay, and we'll have a ordered list. Item 1 to item 5 is there. Save it. So item 1 to item 5. See, UL means unordered list. OL means ordered list. In HTML, everything means something. OL means ordered list. UL means unordered list. So when and inside the UL, you have something known as li. Li means list item. Item 1 to item 5. So see one thing. There is this dots. These dots are there for list items. And ordered list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. So if I add something more, Control C, Control V, item 6, I'm going to do. And here I'm going to do item 6 like this, and see, one more item will be added like this. Okay, one more item will be added with this. Okay, so that is there. And now we are going to learn, because I have told we are going to learn HTML in a very good way. HTML, one thing is there. I teach a lot of people and who want to learn web development, and sometimes people come to me and they say that they're learning HTML for the past 5 to 6 months. No, it's not like HTML. You have to do only for 2 to 3 days, not more than that. Because if you want to spend time spend time with CSS. CSS is the best thing, means it is much more tougher than HTML to learn, because see, this site is very ugly. It will be made beautiful with CSS only. CSS has a lot of things to learn. Learn CSS, not HTML. HTML tags, there on, although there will be thousands of tags, but you don't have to learn all of them. Learn only what I am telling in this workshop. Learn them, and plus I will tell about something else also to learn. You can learn that, but not more than that. You'll be wasting your time if you're going to learn a lot of them. Okay, so we are going to learn about table tag now. So table tag is also used, but not that much. But that, suppose you want to make some nice pricing table or something, then the table tag will be used. Table tag is again a group of tags. It is not a one tag, it is a group of tags. So table tag I'll do, and then here like this table I'll do. Inside table a lot of things will be there, so you don't have to buy hard this thing. Just see it, you should know, means you can, anyways the code you can get it from W3C school. If you want to see, you can get from Google the code and all, because table tag has a lot of tags, so you don't have to buy it. The thing is that table tag, we have a t head, it is known as table head, and we have a t body, which is known as table body. Okay. And inside this table head we have like this tr, which is the table row, and inside this we have th, which is known as a table header, and here I have like name, age, and email. I'll have save it, so it will show like the table header. Okay, and it comes inside a tr means table row. Now inside this table body I will have a tr, and inside this tr I will have a tt. When we are inside a table body, we don't have a th, we have a td, but tr will already be there, and here we'll add the data. Okay, okay, so td td. So we'll have like this. Okay, so we can have multiple rows here, it means like this. Okay, so because the table have multiple rows, we can have multiple rows. Okay, so all of these things we have, see, it is showing like this, it will show like this. So without CSS, HTML is not actually that much good looking. So but it is having the structure because of that only, because of this tr and all these things, it is having this structure. Okay, okay, yeah, forms is something which I'm going to tell, because forms is something which is very, very important. Okay, now we are going to go to forms only. Why forms? Because forms is by, means table also I don't see a lot of people using nowadays. Means maybe if you have a pricing table in your site, maybe you're going to use it, but not. But form is something which is important to HTML also, which is important to CSS also, which is important to JavaScript also. Everything is a form. See, you go to facebook.com, you register there, that is a form. You log into that, that is a form. And you give your data to something form like age, gender, and all this, that is a form. You go for some online exam, and you have those checkboxes, multiple question answers, those are a form. So forms are used for what? Forms are used to take the user data and pass it to the backend, where it is either it is validated against something stored in the database, or it is just stored there. So Facebook, when you register for the first time, your data will be stored. So forms are, that's a very, very important, it will be used everywhere, forms will be used everywhere. Okay, and yeah, okay, someone is talking about grid and all these things I teach in my CSS class. CSS today we are not going to learn that much. Grid, flexbox, all these things I don't teach. Frameworks there, tailwind or something like that, I teach the main thing. Frameworks you can learn on your own if you want, you can learn bootstrap, tailwind, all. I need teach the pure CSS, flexbox and grid. I have a 6 to 7 hours long CSS workshop, means it is like happens the first week of every month, and it's happen at 8:30 p.m. IST at night it happens. So this month it is already done, but It will start again on 28th to 8, I think. Yeah, let me open the calendar. It will start, it will happen on 28th February to 8th February to 8, okay, for Monday. So if you want to learn CSS completely from beginners to advanced, if you go to my channel, you'll find that every month it happens. Okay, so that is the, and now we are going to learn about the form tag, but we have come very low. Means here, see, I cannot see many things here. We come very low. So even before going to this form tag, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add something known as a HR. HR is known as horizontal rule. Let's save it. Okay, see this line has been created here. Horizontal rule, a line has been created. After, before this horizontal rule, there is another thing which I want to tell. It is known as a BR. BR means break row. Save it. A break row, a space will be created. And all of my form tag, I want to put it inside a HR, because I want it to look like this. Okay, BR also I'll put. See, all of my form I'll put inside it. Inside this. Okay. So form tag, again, there is a form element is there. Inside it, all the form will be done. This action we don't need it. So all the form element will be like this. Inside this we'll have everything. And forms, there are a lot of things in the forms, there are a lot of things are there in the form. Okay, but we are going to learn the main thing. And but this is something which you have to do on your own. I will give the resource from where to learn. Okay, so let us do that. And label is there, and name, then input is there, input type text. There are different input types. So what is this label, what is this input? See, label, and let me complete it first, and then I will tell. Name, let me write two things. Okay, so that it is much more easier to understand. Okay, age and number. Age, it should be small. Okay, so this is there. I will save it. See what just happened. Input box of name has been created. This name which I have written here, it is going here, and some input boxes there where I can write anything. And the age is also, label is coming, and the number is there. So this I can type anything, and here age I can write any number, and I can also use this counter, also use this thing. Okay, so like this I can use. So this is the name and the age. Name and the age are like this. So uh, uh, name and age is like this. Okay, type text and name is there. So what is this label? So label always comes in with the input. So there is like comes with the input tag. Always one input tag will be there which will be associated with the label. So this label is associated with this input tag, and this label is associated with this input tag. So it is like I could have used like h1 or h4, but generally we use label only. And what is this name? This is something to uniquely identify this input tag. It is not required field, but generally we give it in HTML. Name is this, and type is text, means we are able to type text, and type is number, we are able to do the number for that. So it is like this. And one thing more to notice here is that, see, everything is a inline element here. Label is inline, input is inline, label is inline, input is inline. So everything came in one line. So everything came in one line, but we don't want everything to come in one line. So how to solve that issue? So we are not doing after this we're going to do CSS, and again we are going to revisit this form. And again at that time I'm going to make that ugly form. This will still be ugly form, very beautiful with CSS. CSS is always about to make everything beautiful. Okay, it doesn't add any functionality or something. So right now we don't have access to the CSS part. Okay, so we are going to do this with div. Yeah, we can do it with BR also, but we are going to wrap it in a div. This is another way. This is another way to wrap it in a div, because div by default is a block level element. So we are going to wrap it in a div. Wrapping with a div have some benefits, like that we can add some styles also, so which generally people do, but right now we're not doing it. So I'll wrap it with a div. Div is another tag which is a block level tag. It doesn't means anything, it is just a block level. And you'll see this div used a lot in code. And this is like this. Backend workshop I do have sometimes like that. I take a Node.js workshop also. I think previous month I took, but I don't know it will come soon or later. Node.js workshop I have taken. So that is the Node.js certification course I take. If you want, you can check on it. Will be on my playlist Node.js, but it will not come anytime soon because every time in the 4th week I do something. But maybe if it is required, I will do that Node.js workshop also soon. So see, I've done this div and they are being grouped. They've been grouped and they have moved to the different line. So someone was asking to use the BR. Yeah, we are going to use BR. I can, because this all are very much close, very much linked to each other. Means, so I can use another div, but why to use div so many times? I can use a BR here. BR is macro. So the gap will be there. When you are going to do CSS, we are going to see how easier it is to do all these things in CSS. But right now we're not doing CSS, so it is there. So the next thing which we are going to do, so we're going to do this br and div every time. So br and div, I'm telling all the important things which are there in a form tag. So here I'm going to have a label as message, and yeah, in YouTube it's present. Yeah, in YouTube it is there. Node.js workshop is there. Everything is there on my YouTube. Everything means I don't delete anything. This workshop will also be there. So then the text area, we're going to do the text area, and then the text area name message I have taken, and it is giving me like this. So what is this text area? It is a thing which is like an input type text, but it is having more thing. It is it have multiple rows. Let me do it. So it is like this. I can have multiple line. Okay, so this is a text area. This is a text area like this we can have here. Okay, so this is a text area. Means we can do multiple lines, but the text area, one thing is there which some people might have noticed. Input boxes, input tags doesn't have ending, but text area needed to be an ending. Input, these are like self ending. Some of those tags have got self ending, like this input, like this br, like this hr. They don't need that ending thing, but text area have an ending. It is required to have the text area, so it is like that. So that is there. And now the next thing which we are going to do is uh, um, drop down. So the drop down are very important. We all have seen what are drop down. So let us do the drop down now. So after this div, I'm going to have a br, and then div I'm going to have, and then here label is there, favorite color, and select is there. Select is there, and name I can have anything like color, and option is like value is like red, and red, and then blue, green, save it. So this favorite color is there, and see, it is coming as like this: red, green, and blue. So whatever I'm writing here, red, blue, and green, see, this is caps. This value will not be shown. This value is something which will be sent to the backend, and I can select it. Like this is how the drop down looks, but you might have not seen such a ugly drop down because no one will leave such a drop down in the channel. But the basic drop down is like this. After that, we have to add a lot of style through css, and nobody will now in today's age, nobody will leave it like this. So this is a basic. See, HTML gives all the structure of a website. After that, we have to add a lot of css there. So red, blue, green, whatever we do want, we can do it from here. And this is how this works, and this is value is something which is go to the backend. So that is there. Now the next thing which we are going to learn, we are going to continue in this only forms, because there are some more things in forms to be done. So only two things we are going to learn more. One is that there is a checkbox. So there is something known as checkboxes, which I again used to take multiple inputs from the user. Just like I was telling that the multiple answer questions are there. All of you might have given some online examination and all those things. So it is like that. Multiple answer questions are there. So yeah, and again a div I'll have, and here I'm going to have a h4, and what do you own? I'm going to have a question like what do you own, and then I'll have a input input. Okay, input type is not text, type is checkbox, and name equal to car, and value equal to car, and label is like a car. I'll have it again, bike, bike, bike. Save. So this is known as checkboxes. These are known as checkboxes, and you can select multiple. See, I can select this also, I can select this also, and these are for that, to selecting multiple things. And everything has a name can be different, name is always unique, which I have told. And value is something which goes to the backend, so value is there, and value is also like different, so we can pass both of them also. So this is what the value is about. So now the next thing is the radio box. There is something known as radio boxes. See, suppose I want to take only one thing from the user, so then I'm going to use a radio boxes. Okay, then it is like this. Yeah, like div, and again I will have something which can be only one. It's like gender. I'm going to take, and then input type is radio. And name equal to gender, and value equal to male, and label is like male. Now we'll have this times, okay, gender female, and other, and other. Save it. See, now I will have this gender. So what is the difference from this checkbox? I can select only once. Not all of them. I can select only one here. So this is a different. And one thing is which is there. Here the name will be same. Value is different. Okay, it's okay. But name will be same. Name is gender all the time. Name is gender. Here the name is car or bike. But the name is gender here. All the time it is gender. Okay. So it is like this. So this is all radio boxes are all about. So a lot of people are seeing this. Please do like this video so that it can YouTube can send it to more people, and more people can be aspired to become a web app developer. Please do like it and do subscribe if you are not done it yet. I hope I'm giving some value here. So this is there. And now the next thing is that like all of these forms were made, but how to submit this form? Okay, submit this form. We have a special kind of a button inside a form. So button also I'm going to tell. After this I'm going to tell the button, but we have a special type of a button which I'm going to tell. That button is like known as input type of submit, and value equal to send. Value is different here. So the moment I do this, see, a button has been created. A button, it's a normal button. A normal button has been created. And through it we can submit it. And this is a special kind of a button because we have a button tag also, which I'm going to tell soon. So this input type submit is a special kind of a button which is inside a form, which through which we can submit a form. It has got some special feature, and I will tell the special feature. See, I'm here, and if I click it, see this get refreshed, the website get refreshed. See this, and it will get refreshed. So this is a special feature. And this is also because of this piece of feature there are some problems also there, because this is a very old kind of a feature which came because of PHP was earlier used to submit backend only. PHP was there when Facebook just started. A lot of Facebook code was also in PHP and all. So that time we used to submit it, so we used to need that refresh. But with JavaScript and React.js and Node.js, we don't want this refresh and all. So this causes some problem which we generally fix in the backend and all those things. So they are advanced topics and all. So that is there. This is how it all works. All means all form works. And before going to the button, I want to tell one more thing. See, I told a lot of things in form, but still it is not complete, still the form is not complete. Okay, so you have to go to a site, HTML tutorial. If I do, and this W3C school, you can go, and here if I go to this input types, form input types, so there are different form input types are there. Okay, so all this form input types you can see, means you can go through this all these form input types. Actually, before HTML5 there are only 5-6 input types, but with HTML5 there are more than 20 input types, and some of them are very good. In some of them we used to code a lot for them, so we can nowadays you can go through it, just go through it. Don't go through it anything else, if you, because it will waste a lot of time. This is a very big thing. I know people who are doing this, all these things for the past 6 months, only stuck here in this thing. Okay, so like this, there is a lot of things are there. Even the calendar is there, even the calendar is there. Let me, okay, so no, this is not calendar. So we have like okay, see this, I have a calendar kind of thing. This thing was earlier, it was not that much easy to do. Earlier it used to require a lot of JavaScript code and all this thing, but nowadays they're inbuilt, they're inbuilt in the browser. Means with the, if something is there in the HTML, it means it is inbuilt. You don't have to write a JavaScript code for this. You can have something like this browse thing. Nowadays I can see it in a lot of different sites. You can browse your, put your resume and all, so that is coming from this browse. So all these things you can get it from here. Okay, so learn this thing from here, and rest of the things you can learn from my from this video. Okay, so learn input types from here. Okay, I'll save it and I'll do it. Okay, so learn input types from here, and rest of them things you can learn from my video. So that is done, and now the next thing which we are going to do is a button tag. So let us do the button tag. Let me make it small also, and we're going to do the button tag. So what is the button tag? Button tag is like a simple button. So after this form and after this, I will have this button tag, and button will have button click, save it. So again it will be a simple button, but what is difference is that I am clicking here, see nothing will happen. Every functionality of a button generally comes from your JavaScript. Here I am clicking, this is a special kind of button which refreshes the thing, it will not refresh. Okay, it will not refresh, and this is how it is work. So now we have come to the last topic here in HTML, and we'll start with CSS after this, and which is like image tag. We will learn about the image tag. Although we cannot do much thing from HTML on an image tag, but at least we have an image tag. So image tag is there, and image tag is like this, and img source, and is there, I will create a images folder here. I'll create a images folder here, and I will add an image here. So let us go to the unsplash site and get a image from here quickly, this one, and maybe a mid-range one I'll get. Okay, now where this image gone? Okay, not open file. Okay, so I will cut it, and I will have it inside the image. I'll paste it inside the image. I will drop it here. So I will also rename it. It's a very big. So I have this unsplash image now. So I want to show it. So to show it here, I have to go to the images folder, because it is in the images folder. Unsplash.jpg I'll give. And this alt tag. Alt tag is very important. Alt tag I will give like computer image. Save it. I'll come back here, and I will see this big image. Big image is there because it is taking the complete image. We have not done much here, so I can make it small also, and I will tell about the alt tag. We don't have many things here, but I will make it small. We have only access to 2 3 things, like width equal to maybe 300, and height equal to 200. Save it, so it will become small and like this. But where is this alt tag? Alt tag has been shown nowhere. Where is this alt tag? So alt tag by default it doesn't show. What is this alt tag? Alt tag, if this image is anyways not possible, it is not been shown, then the alt tag will show that. Again, that screen readers loves alt tag. The more something you will help the screen reader to have, your site will have the accessibility options. More means accessibility scores improves of the site, and that is required sometime by the client also, if they are especially based in Australia and all those things, they require that accessibility. So this alt tag is for that, it is the alternate of that. But beside that, it has got another thing also. Suppose this image, we are not been able to show this image. There are many reasons for that. Suppose I created this website and then I purchased some GoDaddy thing and put that website there, and then it is available to the world. So this index.html, I have put it there and it is available to the world, but someone is opening my website through the mobile, and geo network is very good, but sometimes the geo network also goes away. Like I'm entering, my train is entering a tunnel and that goes away, suddenly it goes away. Then what? Then this image was just at the point of loading, then it will not load, and then it will show the computer, but I cannot do that thing because stream will I could not disconnect my network. So something like this, maybe a developer made some mistake and this I did like this, unsplash, save it. See, now this computer has been shown because there is no image like this. So this is what it is all about, alt tag and all. So we're done with html is this much only, and html is this much is more than sufficient. Okay, so now the next thing which we are going to do is like css. We are going to learn css now. So let's get started soon. I started quickly, and I will close this because I will create for css a different project. Okay, so I will close it, and I will close this also, and here I am there, and I'll go back, and here I'll create a new folder. CSS Basics is there, and then I will have a VS Code. Where is my VS Code? Okay, it is opening here, new window. Okay, so VS Code is open here, and then I will have to this CSS basic, I will just drag it here. So CSS basic will be open. Now again we have to go to index.html because CSS is applied always on the top of our index.html only, because that is CSS is all over styling, but the structure will come from HTML. So index.html will have, and we'll have another new file here, and that new file is style.css. That new file is style.css. Style.css means it's the CSS file, and index.html means it's a index file, index.html file, HTML file. Okay, so I'll have it again, remove it, and I'll do a CSS basics, and now I'll have a h1 here, and CSS crash course. I'll have save it, and let me go live. Anyways, we'll open it here, but I want it in the Firefox Developer Edition. So CSS crash was by default. HTML is all black and white, but we can add color to it. So how to add color to it? We'll go to the style.css, and here, so this is how the CSS tags works. So h1 I'll give, okay, h1 I'll give, and I have to select a tag like this. H1 is there. I have to select this h1, and in this curly bracket, I have some different properties are there. I will give those properties for CSS. Okay, I will give those properties like maybe color. Color is like blue, Okay, so and color is always COLOR, as because American invented everything, not the Britishers. So this is there, and color is blue. But color is blue. I've done, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. My CSS has not been applied. Why it is not been applied? Because I would tell the index.html means that HTML that I have to apply this CSS, and in the head part, what I have to do, link. There's a link tag, and it's rel equal to style sheet we have to give, and style.css the file name I have to give. Now save it and see it is color is this. And CSS is all about learning about this kind of different properties, and there are a lot of properties which I think I cannot tell in the next half an hour or 45 minutes. So this is something which you have to attend my full CSS lecture. For this I will only touch the surface, and the full CSS live course is coming on 28th of this month, 28th of February, 28, 28, not 20, 28th of February. More than around 6 hours of course it is there, and I will teach Flexbox and Grid also there. So this is there, so it is not showing much. Okay, so it is how it is shown. So next, let us add something more also here. Let us add h3 or okay, h3 I'll add, and best place to learn CSS. So h3 I've added, and the other thing which I'm going to add is a paragraph tag and norm 40 maybe. The paragraph tag I've added. So all these things I've added. Now we are going to learn about a very important thing which is known as a colors in CSS. So actually there are 4 ways to add colors in CSS, and we are going to learn about all the 4 ways to add colors in CSS. Okay, so I will tell about a site first. Okay, so this HTML color code. So this is a very good site. See, the first way is to give the HTML colors a name. So this blue name I have given. Modern browser supports 140 named colors which are listed below. So as it is saying, there are 140 color names are there. So we can use all those 140. In fact, there were only 20-30 color names before 2015. In 2015, with HTML5, CSS3 also came, because CSS and HTML are governed by the same committee, which is known as W3C. JavaScript is governed by a different committee known as 𝐏𝐚𝐫. So that is there. So they released all these things. They released all these beautiful colors, 140 of them. So some of them are very good. Names are very good. You means I know a lot of the names, like dark red, hot pink, dark orange, gold, dark khaki, and medium orchid, and all those things are there, and teal, and all these things are there. So all these things, anyways, what's the benefit of VS Code? VS Code also tell us this thing. Okay, VS Code will also give us the suggestions. What is there means when I write it, it will be there. Okay, so this is all the colors. We've already seen how to use this color name, but there are some other ways to use the color, because 140 color is not enough. It is very less. 140 color is very, very less, because there are millions of color, millions and billions of color which we can use in CSS. How we can use in CSS? We have something known as color picker. See, this color picker also comes like, if I hover my mouse over here, the color picker will come, and I can choose anything from here. Anything I can choose from here. Anything I can choose from this color picker. Okay, so that is there, and let us run over those color pickers. Okay, I have to make it big. Okay, so there are 3 systems to put to show the color. One is known as hexa, which is the oldest and which is used the most. You'll see the hexadecimal system a lot. One is the HSL, and one is the RGB. Although everything you can, whenever I change something here, all of these 3 will change, and you don't have to learn this anyway. No one can learn it, because there are billions of colors you can choose from there. Only a bit of this thing you're going to do, you are going to change it. And the first thing is the hexadecimal system. So what is this hexadecimal system? It is known as hexa. It follows the hexadecimal system. So hexadecimal system is a special kind of system which can hold more data. And why the CSS team choose to use this? Because it is much more superior than the binaries, than the decimal system which we use. Decimal system is something which have a base of 10. We learned it in around 7th or 8th class. Decimal system is base 10. There is a binary system which the computer understand, which is 0 and 1, which is a base 2. So similarly, there is a hexadecimal is there, which is a base 16, not 10, base 16. By because it has got 0 to 9 also, and A to F also. A to F is also there. Alphabet A to F is also there, so it is a base 16. So what is the benefit of it? It can hold more color. It can hold more color than our normal decimal system, which we use generally for most of the thing, money and all those things we use. So it can hold more color. So that's why the CSS people choose this in hexadecimal, and we have to do this hash here to do that. And beside that, it has got 6 digits are there. 6 digits are there. Why 6 digits are there? That also specifies something, although this is all theoretical, which I'm telling, because at the end you're going to do it from here only. So hexadecimal system, I got 6 digits. First 2 digit stands for red. Second 2, like here B3, stands for red. Next 2 stands for green. Last 2 stands for blue. Red, green and blue. Why red, green and blue? Because human eye can see only red, green and blue color, or a combination of it. All the color with the human spectrum can see is the combination of red, green and blue color, nothing else. That there are other organization which what animals are there who can see a different spectrum, but not as humans, and this is why humans. So first 2 are red, second 2 are green, third 2 are blue. That's but you don't have to know this thing, the combination is there. So let me choose the background color. Let me choose a background color like a light, something like this, like red, and you do this, and I will save it. And I want to give the background a different color. So this body is there, we have placed something in the body, I can change it. So I'll do a body like this, and background color is like this. Whatever I save from there, it's kind of pink kind of a thing. Save it. See now what will happen. See, the background color is like a pink. So background, and this is another property known as background color. Like color is for text. Now this is all background color is all about. So I've used this. Okay. So the next thing is that there is a RGB. RGB stands for red, green and blue, obviously, and same logic is there. Humans can see red, green and blue, but it has got the number are different. It is not hexadecimal, or the numbers are from 0 to 255. So this is the hexadecimal. This is the RGB. RGB is there. So here what happens? So let us do this RGB for maybe for the H3. I will give the color with RGB. So H3 and color I'll give it from RGB, and some text is there, so I will give a dark color. So maybe a dark yellow kind of a color I'll give like this, and I'll choose this, give it, save it, and see this is like this. RGB is like this, same only, nothing. And the last system is the HSL system. So HSL system is actually a complicated system even to teach. HSL stands for hue, saturation and lightness. Okay, so the lightness is something, lightness and hue saturation we can control from this. Saturation is like what the saturation we have in TV and all, so that we can control. But what is this hue? Hue is actually a 3D thing through which we have the color, HSL, through which we have the color. So all of the color we have through this hue, which is the first value, which is like a 3D value through which we have. So HSL, I will copy this thing, HSL, and I'll come here, and what I do, no, I want to have this P as like a like this, a dark color maybe. Okay, so I'll copy this HSL and this P, and I can have this color as like this, save it. And now if I go here, see it is like this, red kind of a color is there. So this is like all of this different kind of colors and all. So the next thing which we are going to do, so let's get ahead. Let's add some font to this. Okay, so we can always add font to things. See, font is like in a MS Word also we have font. So here also we can add the font. So here I'll have to add font. We have something known as font font family. Font family is there. Font family is there, and I will take a Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif, the most popular font, which actually are there in all the browsers. So, but I have taken three things. Why I have taken three things? Why I have taken three fonts means when I could have taken only one. The first font is the font which is always applied. The next two fonts, or we can give 100 of fonts also after that. They're known as the fallback fonts, and we generally take the fallback fonts. See, fallback fonts are the fonts which will be applied if the main font is not available. Generally, these are very common fonts, so it will be available in all the things. But sometimes happens that it is not available in the browser. See, the HTML and CSS are created by committee, W3C committee, which is a different committee. But the browsers, which are a very complicated piece of software, browsers are not that easy to make. Browsers are created by big companies only. Browsers are this browser, Firefox Developer Edition. It is created by Mozilla. Chrome is created by Google, Safari by Apple, Edge by Microsoft. So huge teams are there which create all these things. But after that also, it is sometimes happens that all the browser implements the HTML, CSS, JavaScript in a different way than the official committee which gives them to implement. So sometimes maybe it maybe happens that in Apple, in Safari, they don't have Arial, but it is there. Actually, Arial is there. But maybe some font is there which is not there in Apple. So it will go to the second font, which is Helvetica. That is not there, it will go to the third font, which is sans serif. If that is also not there, that then it will default to whatever is the Apple default font for Safari. It will default to that. So that's why we have to use this fallback fonts. This is very important, fallback fonts. Okay, so this is something is there, but let us see something good. Means always the free and good things are given by Google. So we'll go to Google, and there Google have a lot of services, and there is one service known as Google Font. A lot of people don't know Google Font is there. So only developers knows these things, all these things. Okay, Google Font is there, and now I will actually remove all. I see when you go here, you'll see that okay, so nice fonts are there. They're not even available in the browser now, but all of these fonts we can use it. So the moment I come here, I generally use some cursive font, but today I'm liking this font a lot. It is not a cursive, but it is a different kind of font. Let me select it. Select it, I will have to click on it, and fonts are made by some designer kind of a people, and all those kind of people make it. Then I'll do this, select this style. This thing is opened here. Then I have to go here, and I have to import. I have to do this import here. So this import will be there, and I have to copy this, and I have to come here, and this body I have to import it. Whatever I get it from there, I have to import it, and the font name is known as this thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this P, I'm going to make this font family as that. Okay, so all of my rest of the fonts will be like this in the H1, H3, but in P, I will have this special and nice looking font of Sizuru or something. Okay, so this I will have this Sizuru is I'm going to have, and here it is very important to have the fallback fonts. Okay, so this I've done, and if I go back, see this nice font has been done. Here it is much more, and one thing is that Google font you always give in quotes. Here it is much more important to give the fallback font, because the first thing is that this is a Google font. Although Google fonts will 100% be there, but there can be issues when it is not there maybe. And the other thing is that it is taken from a internet, this like this link is it is taken. Again the same thing, if the internet goes away, it's same thing. What will happen? This thing will happen, then it will fall back to the Helvetica font. So this is something which is there. Okay, so you can use a Google font, are really cool. And now we are going to do a bit more. Okay, let me have some more line because I'm liking it. So it is like this, it is showing good. So the next thing which you are going to learn is the we have something known as a sizing, font size. So font size I will do font size, and I will give it 20 pixel. I'll give 20 pixel, and then font weight as bold I'll give, so 20 pixel and bold. So font size I can do the font size on many things. So font size has become 20 pixel. Font weight have become bold. So font weight have some other values like bold, normal, something like that. A lot, you can see that thing. So those things are there. But font size I can increase the font size means like 20% or not. I'll soon come to this because there is a unit of measurement which is very important. There are some units of measurements are there which is very important. Okay, so that is there, and then I will have a line height. Line height I'm going to have, and 1.5 em I'm going to have em. Save it, and maybe I will give a 1.8 em. So it is something which is the height between these two lines. But just now I use something like px, I use something like em. So what is this px, what is this em, what are they, what are this px and em all about? So actually there are 3 units of measurements. One is known as px, which is a pixel. One is known as em, which is em only, and one is known as rem. So to teach that I'll do one thing, but let me tell what is a pixel. So pixel is like a pixel which we have always seen that in monitors or tv. It has got this much pixel by this much pixel, and the salesman always says that the more pixel is there, it will be much more good, it will be hd, true hd, and all those things. Pixel for a normal tv, it is whatever the pixel size is there in that 1 square centimeter, because pixel is that though that a small dot which the computer monitor shows, small dots are there. But this pixel is a bit different. This is something, again, the W3C committee have a monitor which has a DPI of 3200 density per inches, and they have measured the pixel in that. But in layman way, what, the more you increase the pixel, the more the size will increase, nothing more than that. But then there is em, and to understand em we have to do one thing. Okay, to understand em I have to go back here, and I have to wrap this whole thing with a div. Wrap this whole thing with a div. I am wrapping, and save it. And now this div, I will make it is a font size as 10 pixel, and here the font size I'll make 2 em. So what is this? So see, whenever the em means what are the parent font size is there, or what are the parent font size is there, and it will be multiplied by that. So if the parent font size is 10 pixel, the parent font size is 10 pixel, 2em means 2 into 10, which is 20 pixel, which is 20 pixel. So it is 20 pixel. 3em means 30 pixel. So whatever the parent font size is there, parent is a div. So whatever wraps something is a parent. So div is the parent of h1, h3, and p. So that's why it is 30 pixel. It is 30 pixel. It is 30 pixel. 3em. So this is one unit. And then there is, let me make it back to 2em. There is another unit which is known as rem. If instead of 2em, I will make it rem. Save it. See, it become even bigger, because rem doesn't depends upon the parent. Rem depends upon the global parent, means everything. By default, the default font size is 16 pixel. That is what the WTC have decided. Default font size is 16 pixel. So 16 into 2, it will do 16 into 2, not 10 into 2. When a font size I make it as rem, it will make 16 into 2, because it will not depend on this div. So that is like that. This is how it works. So 2rem is very big, and so I will make it a bit smaller, like 1.6 maybe rem, 1.6 rem, and this one I will make 1.2 em. Yes, we're going to go ahead, and 1 point maybe 4. Okay, so the thing is that one thing you should have noticed here is that if I go to this index.html, and one more thing means second attendance form will be given at 5:30 p.m. IST, and everyone have to fill the second attendance form also to get the certificate. That's why we take 2 attendance forms, not 1, because the people should not live in the middle. So that is like that. And okay, so this div has caused a issue also here. You might have seen this thing. These two have become very small. These two have become very small. This is not the original size, because I have taken a div of font size is 10 pixels, so it is affecting that. It will affect everything which is inside it. So first let me comment this out. So again it will be normal, like it will be the normal, it is not affecting anymore. 1.6 rem I'll do 1.4 for RAM I'll do actually. Okay, okay, 1.2. Okay, so that is there. So as I've told, this was causing a lot of problem because it was affecting that, because it was a parent and it was affecting that. And one thing is there in CSS, we never give something like div, and we avoid to do this div h1 h3 p. We have something known as classes and IDs. And in bigger projects even you don't give this thing h1 h3 and p. So what will happen, it will break. As I've told, in a bigger project a lot of front-end developers work. If I give h1, if one engineer give h1 at one place, other engineer give h1 at the other place, what will happen, it will override, so it will break. So that's why what happened, most of the time you have something known as classes and IDs, and that you can add in anything, div h1 h3, anything you can add, and then they become unique, then you can do it. So let us do the classes and IDs. A little bit difference is there in the classes and IDs. So in this div I'll do a class equal to container. I'll do container, save it. So now I will add style for this container. Okay, so this container will be applying to all of it. So for this, if I do, I have to use a dot. Classes, you have to always use a dot. Okay, classes you always use a dot. Okay, for the classes, it is not like h1 h3 I can do it like this. Okay, classes you always have to give a dot with classes. Now this class, it is not necessary I'll give it in div. I can give it h1 h3 p, anywhere I can give it. Okay, so a container I given here, and then the background color I will make it as maybe light sea green. See, the background color has become like this, light sea green. The background color have become like this, light sea green. So let us add something more here. So let us add a bit of padding. Padding is something, I will tell. Padding is something which is like around the complete element. Means I'm applying it a div, so it will get, see, the moment I apply the padding, you'll see the difference. See, there is some space around it, so that is known as padding. So padding we are given, so it is looking much more better. So now what is the difference between div and ID? So if I copy this all and put it like this, maybe this one I'll make it a bit smaller, and I will remove this thing, and a container is there. So see, again a container will be created, and I want to add a br here, so they are a bit different. So again the same style will be applied. So classes we take when we have to apply the same style, but we can take it without that also, but classes we generally do it at that time. But apply a different same styles. So this is what classes are. And then there is something known as IDs are there. IDs are unique. IDs you can use only one. So suppose I want this p to have a different style than the generic p. So I will have a ID here, id equal to second p. ID equal to second p. It is always going out. ID equal to second p. I am going to do, save it. Now this ID is a bit different than classes. Classes starts with dot, but ID start with hash. So ID start with hash second p. Now the second p, I want this style to be different than this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this all first, and I'm going to change some of the styles. I just said I'm going to change it to maybe so I can do it from here also. Come here and bit darker, and I don't want this fancy style. I want it Arial, also Arial only, Arial, and this I will make it as 2, and this 1, and this I'll make it as normal. So see, now this p has become a normal. So this is different from this p. So this is how we use the IDs. Okay, this is how we use the IDs here. Okay, so that is done. Let us now do let us now do a form. as the forms are very important, let us do style a form. CSS is not like that we're going to add any functionality. So let us create a cool form and then we'll style it. So let us go here and we'll create a form and we are going to style it. Okay, so I'll come here and I will have a br and actually because we are again a bit down, we are at acha and again br and acha I'm going to do, and here I'll have a form. Form. Let us have some class so that we can uniquely identify it. Class is my dash form, and then here I'll have a div or this is again a short form. Data form group I'm having, and inside this I will have a label and name is there and input type text name equal to name, and so I'm having this form group because we're going to style it. Okay, again this form group, and this will be email and text is okay, email is there and name is email, and I'll have a text area also, and it will have a message and text area name is like message, and it will end it here. I'll end it here, text area, and then input type is submit. I'll have a class of button and value of send. I'll have save it. So I will again have this ugly form. We are having this ugly form again. So now we have to beautify it through CSS. So let us do that. So first thing is that I will select this my form, come here, select this my form, and then make a padding of 20 pixel. Padding of 20 pixel I'll do. Then this dot my form. So we can have CSS in like this also, in my form dot form group. So this way to give the CSS happens, it benefits, because what happens in this way, I am targeting only this, so there might be some form group inside some other form also, but I'm targeting only this my form and inside that this form group. This is a benefit of it. So why I'm doing this, because all of these are again very close. In the HTML thing, what we did, we use add a br, but here we are not going to add a br, we are going to add a padding of bottom is like 15 px. Padding on bottom is like 15 px. Okay, it is there. So the padding on bottom has been done to 15 px. Now I want one more thing. I want these labels to come in its own line. By default, everything is a inline element, a label and input, but I want label to be coming in their own line. So what I'm going to do here, so dot my form label is like display is like block is there, save it. So it is coming in its own line. Okay, it's coming in its own line. So now it is already looking good, but to for it to look very good, I want it to spread completely to till 100%, and I want some padding here. See, I write something here, Bindu. So what is happening, there is no padding here. I want some padding here. Okay, I want some padding here. Okay, one sec. So I want some padding here. So let us do that. So for that, I want to select all this input boxes, all this text area I want to select. I can have a common class in all of them, but there is another good way to do it, and you should all know that good way also. That my dash form and input type equal to text. Input type equal to text. It means it will select all the input type equal to text, and we can give multiple like here my form and text area I'll do, and then first I'll do a padding of 8 px. I'll do save it. See, now this padding has been increased for all of this. Okay, now I'll make the width as 100%. Width as 100%. So width as 100% is done. Now form is looking very good. Now form is looking very good. Instead of that, only one thing is remaining in this. This button is still like the normal button. We don't want this normal button. Yeah, just change the video quality. It is not 120. I'm streaming at 720p. So just you have to go to that settings and change it to 720p. I'm streaming at 720p. So yeah. So you have to do it high because I'm streaming at 720p. 720p. Streaming at 720p. Okay. Generally, YouTube depends upon the mobile platform. It do like that. Okay. So if you are mobile, generally it goes to that only. Okay. So just increase it. Okay. So okay. So what I was telling, I was going to change the button. I was going to change the button. So this button I will come, and this button dot button, and then let us make it. So first thing which I'm going to do is to add some padding. As I've told, padding is something which is all the way around, but I can give a pair also, top down something and right left something. So 10 px and 15 px. It means top down it is 10 px, and right and left is 15 px. So I'll do this. See, this button already changed. Then let us add something more. So I don't want this border, so border is like none. I'll do border has gone. Then the border radius, generally we don't have this sharp edges, so border radius 5 pixels, maybe 10 pixel. I'll do save it. 10 pixel is way too much. 8 pixel, 6 pixel is much more better. So that I have done. Now one more thing. Now this font size is like 1 rem. Font size has become bigger. There's something known as text transform. Text transform uppercase. So directly it will like this. Okay, text transform uppercase will be done, and font weight is bold. So it will become bold. So it is looking much more better. And I don't want this normal thing to be there. So I will make a background color as dark blue is good. But the moment I do dark blue, my text is not visible. So I will make a color as white. Save it. So color will be white. Now it is looking much more better. But I want something there is known as hover property. Hover property I'll do. Hover property is what? See, whenever I move my mouse cursor here, you might have seen in a lot of sites it changed to a hand. So that is the hover property, and we can do a lot of things else also in that. So I'll do a dot button and hover I'll do, and here I'll do a background color as dark magenta, and cursor as pointer. These two things I'm going to say. Now I'll come here and I'll move my mouse. See, it's changed to hand, and the color is also changed. So this is known as hover property. So we are done with this button thing, and we're done with this form. Okay, so that we are done. Now what we are going to learn? We are going to learn one more thing, which is okay, which is like image. So again, we have something very good when we are in the css world. We are going, this is the last thing which you're going to learn in css, because css a lot of things are there, because we have to do some javascript also after this. So what I'm going to do here, div dot okay dot position box. I have a div of position box and maybe h1 inside it, and it will have CSS. Okay, so I'll have this div. So it is coming like here, and now here I'll have a dot position box, and width is of 800 pixels. We can give the width also. So what I'm creating a box actually. Height is of 500 pixel. And how to create a box? We are going to give a border 1px solid black. So this is something which we can do to create a border. So it will create a border all the way around. So if I do this, see, a border has been created all the way around. So after this also I will add some BRs. It has gone very down. So this is like this, a box of 800 pixel by 500 pixel I created. Now what I want to do, I want to place a image inside it. I will want to place a image inside it. So let us do a image. Again I'll come here and images folder I'll do, and here again unsplash I'll go, because I have to choose a small image now. Okay, I have to choose a small image. So a small image, how I'm going to do, I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to come here and I will to choose a small image. See, the size is very important. 640 into 853 I have chosen. Okay, 640 into 853. Okay, whatever is it. So I have chosen this thing, and now okay, I have to open this. So I can open this in a different way also. Reveal in Finder or reveal in File Explorer, reveal in Finder. Okay, it will open it in Finder. So this images I am having, and okay, this image I will paste it here, and then maybe I will make it a unsplash is that like this. Okay, so there is a tag also from our CSS by which we can put this image. Okay, so that is like come here, and inside this I have to paste the image. So I will have a background image. So I'm not doing it from the index or section, I am doing it from the background image. URL I'm going to give, and then I have to go to the folder, images folder I will have, and the unsplash.jpg I'll do, save it, and then it will be shown. But see what it is doing. So it is actually, one sec, actually, okay. So you might be seeing this, it is now repeating itself. It is not repeating itself. So this image was like the width, it is repeating itself because it is only 600 pixels. So it is repeating itself, the width it is repeating. So it is not coming perfectly, it is repeating itself in the box. So how to fix it? To fix it, the first thing which we are going to do is the background repeat is now no repeat I'm going to do. So see, this is gone, but this is causing a bigger problem. The bigger problem is that now the image is now not been shown in the box. So that is there. So we have to do for this another thing, which is now a background size is like cover, save it, and the image is now completely fixed here. Image is now completely fixed. So this is how it is done. This is how we do it. So image is fixed in the box. So this is how it is done. Background image, and image we have taken, then the background repeat is no repeat, and background size cover. We do this like this. So this is how we fix the image in the CSS. Okay, so that is there, and now it's time to move to JavaScript. Okay, move to JavaScript. So let us move to JavaScript now. Maybe I will keep it open. I will do that. Okay, so let us move to JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript, we are going to start now. Okay. So JavaScript is a programming language. It's totally different than HTML and CSS. It is used to mainly used to add those interactivity and all those forms and all those things which we have seen. It can be done with JavaScript also. But JavaScript only means, and JavaScript is used in all the big programming languages. After JavaScript, as I have told you, have to learn the React and all. So here JavaScript is not used in a lot of places. So I'm going to teach JavaScript through something known as JSBin, because we don't have time to learn it through the browser. Because at the end, after JavaScript, I generally teach JavaScript DOM. JavaScript DOM is the programming for the DOM. Means whatever if you want to use it here, that code is known as JavaScript DOM code, because JavaScript is a multi-purpose language. It can be used in the backend, front end, and front end code is known as JavaScript DOM code. So it can be used at all the places. So that Node.js also it can be used. It can be used for to make desktop apps also with something known as Electron and all. So that's why we are going to learn first the basics of theoretical part. We have to learn to do that. And this is a online code editor which is like VS Code only. And here I'll do that JavaScript and console. Flexbox and grid I'm not telling now. It is only a 3-hour class. Flexbox and grid are everything is been taught in the long CSS class. Okay. So it is only a 3-hour class. It is just touching the basics. Okay. JavaScript only also will not be done that much because it's only a 3-hour class. Okay, so if you want to learn CSS completely, Flexbox and Grid, learn JavaScript completely, including ES6. They are 2-week classes on my channel, which happens at 8:30 to 9:30, but only on the first week of the month and the second week of the month. Okay, so let me write that also. CSS, so everybody will understand. CSS beginners to advanced first week of month. First week of month it will do. Okay, CSS beginners to advanced first week of month it will be there, and JavaScript. Nothing can be taught right now. Even the responsiveness can be taught, cannot be taught right now. We are already we are approaching 3 hours. So 3 hours is a lot of time. So this is not something which is can be taught so quickly. Okay, everything take times. It is second week of month, and they are like six hours courses. They are like 6 hour courses. So all those things are will be done at that time. As I've told, HTML I've taught completely. CSS and JavaScript, I have to touch the surface only. Although CSS I've taught a lot, but then also CSS I have not taught Flexbox. I have not taught grid. I have not taught float. I have not taught positioning. All those things are remaining. And on the top of it, how to create a website. Those are also remaining. Most of the things are remaining actually. Okay, so that is there. You all are invited to attend that, because I do month-long web app development workshops. First week CSS, second week JavaScript, third week React.js, and then you do the projects. And my aim is you to get a job in around 2 months. Do that. After that, you do a lot of projects, JavaScript, React.js, and projects, and you showcase it on LinkedIn. Tag me, get a job. As simple as that. So as I've told, we are going to do the bit of JavaScript through this JSBin. So JavaScript is mainly a functional programming language. Nowadays there are a lot of object-oriented functions are also there. So JavaScript and console. So what is this console? Console is if you right click and inspect. This is what is the console is all about. This is what is the console is all about. All the developers works here in the console. Okay. So JavaScript is not like visually, it will not be visual because it's a programming language. It is not like HTML and CSS have a structure. It doesn't have. It is stored in the RAM of the system. So like we can have variables in this. So like var f name is like Bindu. So JavaScript has got 3 kind of systems. One is like var. So other programming language, if you're coming from a C or Java or some other, they have like integer, string and all. But JavaScript is a loosely typed language, so it has got only var. In fact, from 1995 till 2015, there was only var. In 2015, JavaScript has also gone through a major upgradation in which ES6 was added to it. And I teach ES6 also in my main class. So ES6 was added to it, and ES6 added something known as let and const to JavaScript. Okay, so let L name equal to response and const full name to do response like this. Call by value and call by reference. Come to my longer class, I explain call by value and call by reference in that. Call by value and call by reference, I do explain in that, because there what happens in JavaScript, I teach in ES6, mainly in ES6, I teach spread operator and rest operator, and there the call by value and call by reference has been taught. So as I taught, everything will be taught in the main classes. So this is just this CSS and JavaScript is just the trailer. It's not the main movie. Main movie is more than 7 hours long. So this cannot be taught in this class. Okay. Console.log of f name and name. So this is the console log. So we can do the console logs like this. Okay, console.log. If I can do this like this, means there what is a variable actually? Variable is something which is stored in the RAM of the computer, random access memory. That's why we always say that more RAM, it is much more better for programming. So RAM of the computer, it is there, and const and var and all those things. So they are like they const, let and var. What are they? So they are like a programming language. What happens, like in Java, if you are asking about call by value and call by reference in JavaScript, that means you are coming from a programming background, because those are very advanced topic which I asking Sarvesh. So this is an advanced topic. So let me tell about that. So maybe you're coming from a Java background. In Java, what happens? There is something like as int, string, bool, all those things are there. But JavaScript is a loosely typed language. It doesn't have anything. So this var, earlier there was only var was there. Let and const was not there. Let and const was not there till 2015. But let and const were introduced in 2015. So if I'm telling, so let me tell this completely, var, let and const, so that we can complete one topic. What is var, let and const? So var, let and const, anything we give, the compiler will understand what it is. If I can give a number also here, it is not like I can give a string. I can give a string, I can give a number, I can give a boolean, anything I can give in that. So the compiler will understand what it is. So JavaScript work like this. So let us understand what is the difference between a var, let and const, which is a very important thing in JavaScript. So let us do that. So as I was telling, var was there from 1995 and let and const were introduced in 2015. Why it was introduced? If var was already there. Earlier, var used to take care of everything. But JavaScript was actually created in 3 days, only in 3 days. In 1995, what happens? It was early days of internet, and there was a first browser of the internet was Netscape Navigator. So it was going to launch. Netscape Navigator was going to launch, and there was only HTML and CSS capabilities in that. So a person got an idea that if I add some click functionality, so these are known as click functionality, and I will create a language. So he created that language in 3 days. He was a very brilliant person, created that language in 3 days. But there was a lot of bugs, because the language was created only in 3 days. There were a lot of bugs, and those bugs cannot be solved, because JavaScript is used in almost all major sites. Sites can be made with JavaScript only. All the Googles and all, they are the first sites which were created in the starting from 1995. Yahoo is there from the starting. So those sites have a lot of code which have this kind of error kind of code. Those cannot be fixed. And what error is that? Let us see that. So this is a very good interview question also which you are going to get, and that is like var is a functional scope and let is a block scope, and any other language is a block. So let us see that. So suppose I have this if a statement is there, if true, if a statement is something like if always execute once, it will always execute when something is true, then only if a statement will execute. Okay, if a statement will execute only at that time. So I'm making it true, so it will always execute. So suppose I have a var num of 1 equal to 10. See, here I have given a var and assigned a string to it. Here I am assigning a number to it. This is how JavaScript works, loosely typed language. Nothing is there. So var num1 I'm giving as 10, then console.log of inside if var. So what I'm telling, we are looking into the thing that why var is not a block scope and it is a functional scope. Can we outside if and run it, and it will run. So in any other programming language, if you're coming from a Java background or a C background or C++ background, this will not run. Second one will not run. Second one will fail. Second one will fail because the scope of var num1 ends from here till here. In most of the other programming language, it ends from here to here. Outside it, it will not work. But in JavaScript, it is not like that. Var scope is not a block level scope. This is known as block level scope. So if a statement, switch statements, all of those creates a block level scope. Okay. So those who are coming from programming background, they don't really understand what I'm talking. But in my class, which is a big class, I will start from the start, means this much only, but everyone can understand. Now I have to go a bit faster because we have only 10-15 minutes. Okay, so that is there, and so it is giving it out there. But then this issue caused a lot of problem in the programming world. It caused a lot of problem because var started to become global. So in 2015 they tried to solve it. So var I'm still using in 2022 because they have not got rid of it. They cannot get rid of it anytime soon. So if is there, true is there, and then I will have a, instead of this I will have a let num. I have to take it different. Let num2. I have to do it like this. Num2 inside if let, and if let, I will again comment this out and I will clear it, run it, and it is giving me error because outside if let, it doesn't, this num2 starts from here and till here, starts and here, so it is not run, and that's why the compiler gave me a error. outside if uh, Outside if let is not working. So this is the block scope, and this is true in every other programming language, C++, Java, everything you go, this is true. Okay, this is true like this, because if a statement are there in every other programming language, but they have like integer or string, they will have something like that. So this was the issue, bug number one with var, which was solved. But it's a functional scope. What is the functional scope then? So functional scope, let us do that. Functional scope. So the functional scope means if I wrap it in a function, it will not it will not go outside that function. Okay, so functions are like, JavaScript is mainly a functional programming language. We create the program, we divide the program in small functions. Okay, so like C++ and Java are object-oriented programming language. We divide it in classes. Here we divide it in functions. Function var exp. So function is declared in JavaScript like this. Function var exp, and then I'll do a text. I'll go inside p. Okay. Okay. And this I have here. Okay. So if a statement is here inside, and now this function is like this. Now I will have another. So function we generally call by var exp, like this we'll call, and then I'll call it outside function var. I'll do clear it, run it. Now this one will give me error outside it, because it var ends from here. Now it ends from here till here. It ends from here till here. So var ends from here till here. So we'll get a error here like this. We'll get an error. So this is what var is all about. Var and let, the difference between that. And this is a very common interview question in JavaScript. Why is var functional scope? What is the difference between var and let? The very common Java's very common interview question. So now also let us see about, if everybody has asked, so let us see about const. What is this const? Let us learn about const also. This most of these things, this const I teach in my ES6 class. So what is this const? Const. Okay, so like const num4 equal to 39. Now if I do num4 equal to 40, it will give me error because it is not. So what is constant? Constant, I cannot assign back something. I cannot assign a value back, means I cannot reassign something, so that is known as constant. That is known as constant. Okay, so like this it is there, but if I do it let, anyways it will not give me error. So let and var will not give me error in this, and I can console log it. So const, it is not allowed. Console dot log of num4. Someone is asking something. It is also class based language or not? Not asking, understanding what is class. Class is no language. Class is not any language. There is no language like class. Okay. Okay, so it will work like this. Const, it will work like this. And there is something more with the with this const. There is something more with this const. So let us understand what is more with this const. See, const have another thing. So in const, what happened, I cannot reassign something like this, but there is something, means again this is something else, means I'm combining 2 3 things here. JavaScript takes a lot of time. So the other thing is that constant, by constant there is two other data types, which one is known as array, and one is known as object. So let us see one more thing, like const, and like maybe nums is there, like 20, 10, 19, 18, and 67 will have. Now if I want to add something here, so I will do like num2 equal to 99 and console.log of nums, means var is having functional scope and outside function. Yeah, it is having functional scope. Var is having functional scope and outside function it is not accessible. Okay, so let me try this thing. Let me comment this out also. Okay, so I'm trying to do it again. It will be not be possible. It will not be possible because I cannot directly do it like this. Okay, but there is a way through which, through const, you can assign something to. So there are some array functions are there. Okay, array functions are there, like nums dot push. This is inbuilt into JavaScript, and I can push something like maybe 99 I'm going to push. So 99 I'm going to push. 99 was pushed at the end, so I can use the JavaScript function to push. So 99, this push function through which I can push anything to the end of the array. Array are nothing but continuous memory allocation is done, and array are there. Continuous memory allocation in the RAM will be done for the array. So similar to array, there is a very important concept in JavaScript, and that is known as objects. So const obj equal to, so suppose, so what are objects? Objects are key value pair. So they are key value pair. So skills is, again we cannot directly assign something to it, but there is a way in which we can assign in the object. So obj dot skills equal to, I'll do it as React.js, and obj dot, I can add a new key value pair also, profession equal to trainer. I can do, and I can add it console.log is like obj, and I will do it, and it will show. Object already shows, but see, this is the main thing. The name profession is like trainer, and the skill. So I can add some new key value pair also, and I can update some existing key value pair also with the constant. So constant we can do for this, but for direct numbers we cannot do. But array is an object, we can do this. So you will see nowadays most of the developers use, in JavaScript developers use constant only, no, they don't even use let, because most of the time you don't update something. Okay, you don't update something, so that is there. And what else? Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, JavaScript has a lot of other things also to be done, and let's do one thing. Okay, let us add let us understand completely soon this. Okay, we'll add some, our earlier CSS project is there. Okay, earlier CSS project is there, and let us add something functionality to it. This CSS projects which we have seen earlier, so this is already running. We have a form here, we have this form here. Let us add some functionality to this form through something known as DOM programming. So that is known as DOM programming. It's a JavaScript theoretical part is different, and this DOM programming is different. Okay, so here let us have inside this. Okay, class of my form is there, so we have to have something known as a here main.js. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me do also give the second attendance form. Mark your second attendance here. So mark your second attendance here. Second attendance is also necessary to be marked. Also main.js. So JavaScript, we generally have another file known as main.js. We do it like that, and then we have to link both of them. So how to link both of them? After this body, we'll have something known as script tag, and here I'll give the main.js. Main.js I'm going to give, save it. Now inside this form, let us add something more, uh, like maybe after this form I will have a unordered list of users, just an unordered list, just an empty unordered list of users I'm going to have, and I'm going to show what I'm going to do here. So in that main.js we are here, and one sec. So we want to select, so this is like a real coding in JavaScript, how it works, the real kind of coding and all. So here in this main.js I have to select all these things. I have to select this whole form. I have to select all of this input, like name input, email input, and all these inputs I have to select. Okay, so input, let us have some IDs here. In the ID equal to, like, ID generally IDs are, we should give the IDs here. So ID is name, and ID is email, and maybe ID equal to message is there. So all of those things are okay. Input type submit and all of these things are done. Okay, so I have to select all these things. Okay, and I will also have a ID equal to ID. Generally in JavaScript we do it means through ID, because there is something which is very easy to get in ID. So ID, I have this my form. So here we have the code is like this: const my form equal to document dot query selector my form. Not my form exactly, it is like this, my form, it is like this, my form I will having. So save it, const my form is like this, and then I'll have this three inputs. So const name input is query selector name, because I have this thing name ID of name is there, and this is advanced thing and I generally don't teach so early. Email input is there, email, and I have a const msg input is like this, is document dot query selector, not msg, it is what is there. Okay, ID is message. ID's message I have to do. ID's message I have to do. Now what I have to do? I have to listen for this submit listener. So whenever someone click this, it is inside a form. So there will be a submit event will happen. So I have to always listen. So JavaScript will always at the back end, it will always at the back end, it will keep on listening for the user to interact. Sometimes it happens the user never interact. So it will work like that. Okay. So listen for form submit. So it is like my form dot add event listener is like submit, and on submit is a function which I'm going to create now. Function. So this is how the real JavaScript front-end coding is done. That was the theory part, and this is the implementation part. So we have this E. As I've told, by default, what happens if I don't have much time to explain this. So if I have this E dot prevent default is there, E dot prevent default is there. Okay, E dot prevent default, what happens? As I've told earlier that whenever I click this thing, it was refreshing that thing. That is very bad in JavaScript thing, in JavaScript world, to refresh that thing. So okay, so now let me say one thing, console dot log of name input dot value. Let me see whether it is coming or not, and here I will inspect it, console it, and it is coming. It is coming means it is working fine. It is, my form is connected fine. So let us add this input, means how to do it. Let us do that. And one more thing I forgot actually, that users is there. This users, this is empty ul is there. Okay, so I will select this one also. Let's use it for this const user list equal to document dot query selector user list. Is it by that name? Okay, it is only by users, so I will do it by users. Okay, so instead of console login, I will show whatever the users input, I will show that. Okay, user input I will show that. So let us do that. And JavaScript is very powerful. Actually we can create everything here. So const li equal to document dot create element li. So inside ul li comes. So I have been doing this li. Then there is something known as li dot append child. Li dot append child is there, and create input, create text node. We have to do name input dot value, message input dot value, and maybe here dollar. It is like email input dot value also I will do. And then after this I will make the user list dot append li, and also I have to make all of this thing as empty, because what is there, it will be there. Okay, so let me do this thing and let me refresh it again. Okay, it is, let it be there, and email I will do, and this is good. Send it. See, it is coming here. Most of the time it will be sent to the backend, but I'm just showing it here so I can get the value. I can get the whatever the user enters, I can get it. Okay, so okay, so I can get it again. It is adding it, and this is also refreshing it. Okay, so like this I can do it any times I can do. Okay, so like this I can do. So this is how it is working. So I gave a small example for this JavaScript also. This is how the code is there. All of these things are taught in very great length in my JavaScript beginners to advanced classes, which is done during the second week of every month. Okay, so hope you have learned a lot of things, because we are going to end our stream here. I'm going to end it here, and hope everyone have filled both of the attendance form. And by a lot of people fill this attendance form, so it is difficult to send the certificate today. By today we'll try, but today or tomorrow we'll send the certificate to the email ID which you have registered. So we were asking for LinkedIn also, but if you don't have LinkedIn, please don't fill it. But LinkedIn is very important. Okay, so best source to learn from my channel. Previous week only Angular was completed. Okay, previous week only Angular was completed, and I do Angular certifications also. Previous week only Angular certification was done. You can go through the playlist. and I have some Angular thing also, but I believe more in React.js. But then also I have Angular thing also. Angular is the second framework after React, so I do Angular also. So that was there on my channel. On my channel, maybe if you want the playlist, I can give the means in my channel I do this means. Let me show these things. This thing, okay, YouTube. Go and please do subscribe to my channel if you're not yet. Then please do subscribe. It helps. I do Angular certifications also. So if I go here and this playlist, if I go see, this is the Angular certification which was completed previous week, and let me let me give this let me give this and I have some Angular projects also, but I'm mostly a React guy because React is the same thing which keeps your job. So this is the Angular which was done previous week, so you can go through it. This Angular thing was done previous week, completed yesterday only. Okay, so with this I will end today's stream, and hope you all liked it and all, and I will end today's stream here, and keep following me. I run this month-long workshop to make you a web app developer. As I told, CSS will follow by JavaScript, JavaScript is followed by React, and React generally I'm trying to follow it now with React advanced topic, because React is something which will give you a job. So that is there which I'm going to follow right now, and with this I'll end today's stream. Please do share this channel to your friends and all. Please do like the videos, and please do subscribe to my channel. It helps me to reach more people and fulfill my dream of helping 10,000 people to become a web app developer. Okay, with this I'll end today's stream. Thank you all for attending. Bye.